and by R.J. Grosso Replacement Window. Big Shot Bowling is brought to you in conjunction with the World Candlepin Bowlers Congress. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Fouracre, along with Dan Murphy here on Big Shot Bowling. And Dan, for the third week in a row, we have John Czernicki back as our defending champ, and he'll be taking on Denny Shute.
Well, Denny's an 8-year veteran on the WCBC Pro Bowlers Tour. Very formidable opponent for John, although John's been beating up on people the last few weeks. So it'd be interesting to see if John jumps out to that big league like he has the last couple of weeks.
Well, John has had a couple of good wins, and now let's take a close-up on each bowler. First of all, the challenger from Amesbury, Mass., Denny Shute. What about Denny?
Well, Denny carries 123 average. He's from Amesbury, Massachusetts, as we said, and he's been on the tour for 8 years, and he rolled a respectable 663 5-string qualifying match to get on here.
So Denny Shute will be taking on our two-time champ, John Czernicki from Dudley, Mass. And John, by the way, holds the record for the high single with a 160 and the high triple with a 420. And last week he beat Bob Donahue. What about John?
Well, John, what can you say? He's bowled well enough to win and set records while doing it. And his qualifying round, that was a few weeks ago, was 680. That's passé now. He's on the show, and he's our defending champ, and very good one at that.
So it's going to be John Czernicki against Denny Shute here on Big Shot Bowling. The winner will be picking up $200, the runner-up $100, and the winner will get a shot at a 1985 Thunderbird compliments of Dudley Ford Route 9 in Westboro. Plus, we'll have a few other prizes that we'll be sharing with you throughout the show. We'll be back with string number 1, but before we do, let's roll away for these messages. And to get it going is Denny Shute. Denny, the challenger, knocking down 7 on the first ball. Makes his home in Amesbury, Mass. Carries an average of a 123.
3, 6, and 7. Tried to split the 3 and the 6 and went by the object pin.
And a 9 blocks for Denny Shute. Denny's been bowling candlepins for a quarter of a century. He's a bachelor with no children.
3, 6, 10.
That's what it says here, man. It's not an ad lib. That's just what they reported to me. I know some bachelors that have children.
Nice shot by Denny.
Denny gets the spare in the second box. Let's peek at it again.
3, 6, 10. Splits the 3. Actually hits the wood out in front of the 3, and the ball takes out the 6 and a 10.
Here's the champ, John Czernicki, back for the 3rd week running, and he knocks down 7.
Look at this identical shot that Denny had the first box, 3, 6, and 7. Again, trying to split the 3 and a 6.
Backdoor action.
I don't believe John wanted to play that wood in front of the 7, but they almost made the spare anyway.
And a 10 box for the champ. Last week, John beat Bob Donahue with a 374 to a 329. The week before, he had a 70-pin win over 7-time champ Mike Sargent.
And again, he follows just like Denny had. Denny had the 3, 6, and 10 to shoot at, although Denny had a piece of wood out in front of the 3. John's going to catch it clean. He does.
Right on the button for the spare.
I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Denny's 8-year veteran on the WCBC Pro Tour. Looking to start up his 9th season with us this coming September.
Spanks down 7. And that's what he gets for the spare. He has 26 after 2. This is the first of 3 strings here on Big Shot Bowling. His best high single, a 182. His best high 3, a 448. And a 9 box. 35 after 3 for Denny Shute. 7, yep.
And again, those 3, 6, 7 again. This time, though, it's a little different shot because of the wood in behind the 3 and the 6. Again, object pin being the 3. And hopefully the wood behind the 3 and the 6 will help him carry the 7.
Yes.
Nice shot.
Got the spare. Peeking at it again, here it is.
Puts the 3 and the 6. 3 pin and the wood carries the 7. Nice shot.
Here's Czernicki off target, but he gets the fill of a half dozen on his spare. Shute has a 45 plus a ball before he closes out his 4th.
Trouble with... Oh, yes. Nice shot.
Got it.
I was going to say he was going to have trouble carrying the 10 pin. The ball might go around, but he played the piece of wood out in front. And it goes right to the sidewall. And does all the damage itself. Nice shot by John.
Back live, Czernicki puts 7 into the spare. Gets another one.
Shot.
3 spares in a row now for the champ.
It's on the head pin, and the ball and the head pin carry the other 2. Ball carries off the head pin down to 7. Piece of wood takes the 8. 10 and the 8, I should say.
Shute filling on a spare, and he was off target.
He's going to get a break here, though.
Half a house, 5 pins on the spare. Then he Shute, hoping to knock off the champ. Denny so far with a couple of spares. Spare 7 in the 2nd, spare 5 in the 4th.
Oh, nice 10.
Oh, that it was. 10 count for Denny, a 60 at the midway point.
And John Czernicki trying for his 3rd win in a row. Has never been behind in a match. He's grabbed the lead on both Mike Sargent and last week Bob Donahue, and this week so far against Dennis Shute.
Shute going through and getting the 2 and the 8, known as the half Worcester left side. Now he has the diamond leave, the 3, 5, 9 in the back, and the 6 off to the right. The 8-year pro going after it. Left the kingpin for a 9 count.
Well, John's up by 3 pins plus this fill.
69 after 6 for Shute. Fill of a 5.
Gives himself the 4 horsemen to the right plus the 8 pin.
Czernicki up by 8. This the first of 3 strings here on Big Shot Bowling. Ten count. Here's the scoreboard. Czernicki up by 8 pins. And against an open box.
Oh, there's a break there. He missed the head pin. That's the pin he left standing for a spare leave.
Pin picking time for the 2-time champ as he'll go after the 1 pin.
Again, he slid by on the left. Basically, that's the name of candlepin bowling, is a single pin. Whether it's a pin standing or lying down, each shot is made by hitting a single pin.
And a disappointing 10 box for John Czernicki. Czernicki with a 78 and a 69 for Shute. Well, there's a very interesting leave, and to tell you how to play it is our expert here on Big Shot Bowling, Dynamite Dan. Dan, congratulations. You had another win on Channel 5.
Yes, things are going pretty well for me. I hope they go as well a couple weeks from now on Big shot ball. Denny's going to be on the head pin there. He had left the 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10, the back row. And there, it's just a matter of hitting the head pin and hoping the head pin is going to take a few of the pins and possibly the ball do the rest of the damage.
Jumps out of it with an 8. .78 after 7 for Shute. We'll make that a 77, excuse me. I was reading the scoreboard. We corrected it. Statistician Michelle Jackson was right on the money.
I'd like to mention our lob line judge this week is John Potorsky, another member of the WCBC. And Bert Perangeli is on the scoreboard, also a member of the WCBC in the women's portion of New England's Pro Tour.
85 after 8 for Shute, 78 after a half dozen for John Czernicki. John dropping 8.
2 in the 8 left. No problem if he's on the 2-pin. In fact, the way the wood's setting up, I believe he probably even could miss the 2-pin, have that wood turn and clear both of them, but he wants to be on the 2.
Right on the mark. That's spear number 4 now for Czernicki. Shute has a couple. Neither guy has picked up a strike. We're in the first string.
Oh, nice looking ball.
Smacked it in the pocket. It was a pocket rocket, but didn't quite get them all. Left the 6.
Left in the 1-2 pocket and left the 6th pin for the spare.
Spare 9 and then a spare for John.
Again, he's getting out to that big lead on his opponent. 20 pins now, plus.
Yes! The strike rolled off the ball of Denny Shute. Here it is on Super Recam.
Ball breaks back into the 1-3 pocket. Good mixing action with those pins. Both bowlers, but Denny's a little more noticeable. The ball breaks a little back up the ball, they call it, breaking a little bit from left to right.
One shy of the double. If a guy gets a triple here on Big Shot Bowling, he'll win himself a trip for 2 to Atlantic City, compliments of fresh pond travel of Natick, Massachusetts. There's the man with an average of a 123.
Looking to cover the 6 pin for the spare. And he does.
It's a spare on the strike. He'll have one more ball remaining in this string. Three spares and 1 strike so far for Shute.
Another nice looking ball. That close to a triple.
Yeah, he fills it with a strike. And a total of a 125. Here it is again as he fills the spare with a strike.
A little more speed on the ball, and straightens it out for him a little bit, and he hits the 1-3 pocket this time and trips the 5 for the strike. Very well, he could have had a triple. Had a solid 9-pin drop, left the 6-pin in the 9th box. But not to be denied, John here. He's got the 8-10. He's going to try to snap that wood in front of the 10-pin. Take the 10 and then come across and get the 7.
No go. So 125 for Denny Shute in the first string. And John, as he picks up that pin, now has himself a 125.
It does look like John will be the winner if he stays behind the foul line. He'll have the first shot at the $250 gift certificate, and he's going to be looking at 10 pins, and he's going to have to chop out the half Worcester to the right, which is the 3 and 9 pins. Earlier we saw Denny create the half Worcester to the left, the 2 and the 8, but John's going to have to chop out the 3 and the 9 for his problem shot.
Czernicki going after the spare. Missed the object, so he's got himself a 130 game. Shute with a 125.
And Dennis Shute picked up a lot of pins those last 2 boxes to get back into this match, and only down by 10 pins.
Nice 10 for the champ, and there it is, a 135 to a 125. The champ on the plus side will be back with the problem shot and then string number 2 right after we roll away for these messages.
The problem shot that John has for the problem is not the half Worcester. He has to leave the 1, 3, 6, and 10. That's the 4 horsemen to the right. So John will try to miss the head pin to the left and clear everything out with the 1, 3, 6, and 10.
Okay, John.
Well, he's far enough to the left, but no go.
He babied it, Dan.
Yeah, you steer the ball a little bit.
Here he goes to start up string number 2, John Czernicki.
That's what he wanted to do.
1 ball too late, John.
That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to leave the 1, 3, 6, and 10 for the $250 gift certificate, and
he got the 4 horsemen for the spare. You just throw and pray, Dan. That's all you do.
That's right. You want to miss the head pin to the left to leave those 4 pins, but then after that, it's fate. Looking for the fill on the spare.
Gets it with an 8 drop. Is it going to be more? It's going to be wraparound time.
3, 6. I love those.
With a plank out in front.
And again, he's going to get that big jump on Denny Shute. First 2 boxes.
He now has himself 7 spares in this match. 5 in the first and 2 here. Got a 135 game. Shute had a 125. Shute down by 10.
Just catch that head pin. Real light in the head pin, but he clears 9, leaves the 2 pin.
Going after the spare. Got it. 3 boxes and 3 spares.
Playing that fine line. If he slowed that ball up just a hair, the ball's going to break a little more to the right. He's going to miss that shot, or he's going to miss the head pin with the first ball. So he has to maintain his speed on the ball, keep the ball straighter for him.
Drop of 7 on the spare. And he'll be going after the 1, 3, and the 7 with some lumber down there.
Two ways, either splitting the 1, 3 and have the head pin go down and clear the 7, or playing to the left of the head pin, having the ball go down and take it.
Yes, got it.
Shot. Splits the 1 and the 3.
Nice spare. Let's peek at it again. Here it is.
Splits the 1, 3, the head pin go down and get the 7.
That's
nice
all
shot.
she wrote. John Czernicki on lane 29. Got them all but the 10. So a spare 9 for Czernicki. It's a 37 after 2.
Dennis is hanging tough. 9-pin drop for John. Leave himself the 10-pin. Piece of wood in front to help.
Right on the button. Spare number 8 now for Czernicki. John also enjoys the sport of golf. Dan Murphy sometimes wonders how you can enjoy that sport. Spare 6.
Interesting leave here. 3, 6, and 10 on the right with the 2-pin. John's looking over. 2 ways of playing. He's got to be on the 3. Either split the 3 and the 6 or be heavy on the 3.
Got it.
Nice shot. Before I get the words out of my mouth.
Superlative shot by John. Here it is
The pin
again.
is locked up behind the 3, so it immediately jumps toward the 4-pin. Nice shot.
John with a 63 plus a ball working. Here's Shute working on a spare. Spare 8.
Well, he wants that wood to hang around for him.
35 after a couple.
The problem here is covering that 7-pin. The farther the wood rolls out, the farther right I think he's going to have to go. He's going to have to turn the piece of wood and then push it back towards the 7 and the 8. That's the problem, yeah.
Yep, you called it, champ.
Didn't come up quite far enough on the on the wood. Sometimes I'm a champ, sometimes I'm a chump, you know.
There's a 9 count.
I like it when plans come together.
Yes, I don't blame you. 44 after 3 now for Shute. Czernicki with a 63 plus a ball when he gets up. We're in the 2nd string.
Nice.
Yes! Got the home run ball off the shot of Denny Shute as it unfolds again on replay.
Saw the nice extension of the arm. Nice follow through, and as soon as he threw the ball, you knew the ball was going to hit one of the pockets. Good mixing action for the strike. John comes right back.
Oh, he comes firing back, filling in his spare with a 9, looking for another spare. He'll go pin picking. He has 4 spares in a row.
Solid 4-pin.
It's all by its lonesome. Right on the money.
He's tough. He's tough.
See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 10 spares so far in this match. He's yet to strike.
Well, he was off the head pin there, but he's got a break.
It's scramble time.
Yeah, he's got some wood out in front of the, he's got 7, 8, and 10. And I believe he'd probably go at the 8 pin and have that wood jump. Oh, it did right in front of the 10 pin.
He scrambled it up, but missed it by an inch or 2. We'll have to check the wood down there.
There's a line that's 2 feet in front of the head pin. Anything that's touching that line or this side of it has to be removed, and our lob line judge, John Fouracre, is removing it. Oh, I thought he had that spare. Piece of wood jumped right in front of the 10 pin, came back off the sidewall, but never clipped the 10.
And a 9 box. So after a half dozen for John Czernicki, he has himself a 98. 98 after a half dozen.
Dennis has just got to try to weather the storm here and stay with John. Hope he lets up a little bit. He's still, remember, he's down 10 pins from the first game.
Going for the double.
He wants that wood to roll out as far as it can, but it's going to lose it altogether, I think. Yes, tough shot now. 5, 6, and 10. Either cut the 5 into the 6 or 10, or play the 6 into the 10, and hopefully it'll come off the wall, cover the 5.
Denny Shute. Denny getting a 9 on his strike. He's down by 9 in the match. And a 9 box. He was opposite a spare 7. 72 at the midway point for Denny Shute, the man who resides in Amesbury, Mass, and lugs around an average of a 123. Right in on the pocket, Dan, but he left 7.
It's the one opening that John's given him. The string is the only box that John doesn't have a spare. And he leaves himself a 7, 8, 9. Piece of wood. He's going to have to use the wood. I don't know if he can cover the 9 with that piece of wood or not. But
Yes! Oh, my!
Nice shot.
Awesome. Pretty. Beautiful.
I was worried if he had the good angle for the 9. I wasn't worried too much about the 7 and the 8. I knew he had a shot at that. But he clips the 9 on the way through and then clears the 8 and the 7.
And we're going to be taking a break right here after a half dozen in the 2nd string. There's the scoreboard showcasing Czernicki and Shute. We'll be back with the remainder of the string right after we roll away. 9 down, 1 to go. Yeah, there's some lumber out there, or a plank, whichever you prefer. How do you think Bob Fouracre would play this shot if he was up there?
I push the button. Reset the machine.
A spare for, hey, you're all right, Dan Murphy. A spare for Czernicki. He now has 11 spares. Denny Shute on the minus side of things. He's working on a spare.
Right, he's got an open box to contend with, too, before he meets the 8th frame where John put up another spare. just, again, he's got to maintain that speed in that ball. That
5
time,
on the mark, excuse me.
that's all right. And that time the ball broke back sharply on him. Last minute, heavy on the head.
6 down, 4 to go. 1 ball remaining here in the 7th frame for Denny Shute. He had a 125 in the first game. An 8 box. 95. He's trailing. A 108 for the same amount of frames for Czernicki here in the 2nd string.
Very important he puts a mark up here.
5 down, 5 to go. Czernicki with a 23-pin margin. Czernicki looking for his 3rd straight win here on Big Shot Bowling. The record is 7 weeks in a row, held by Sergeant Slaughter.
He certainly did slaughter a few people.
That's Mike Sargent. Denny eyeballing the situation. Got it. 10 count. 105 with 2 to go here in the 2nd for Shute. Drop of 7.
1, 6, and 10. And it remains to be seen if that wood in between the 1 and the 6 is going to give him any help. It may hurt the shot. And it does.
It did exactly that.
Played the head pin, and I think if the wood wasn't there, the ball would have went down and cleared the 6 and 10, but he capped the piece of wood in between and went immediately to the sidewall.
10 count. 135 with 1 to go. He had a 135 in the first string, so he'll better that.
He's rolling along now. He's really throwing the ball well, constantly on that head pin with that first ball. 3, 6, 10, and a 7 over in the corner. May have some help coming here.
He wants that wood right there.
Now it looks like if he's on the 3 pin, the woods should go over and clear the 7.
Here he goes for the spare. Yep, right there. That's a dozen spares now for Czernicki. Let's watch it again before he unrolls his final ball in this string.
On the 3 pin goes down, clears out the 6 and 10, and the wood carries the 7.
145 plus a ball.
Nice looking ball.
152.
Excellent game.
No change out on the board. 152, it was a 7 drop. Denny Shute dropping 5. And a 152 for John Czernicki along with a 135. 2-string count of a 287.
Well, the problem, Sean, it looks like John's going to be the eventual winner here. And this is the same shot that he hit last week. Now, this is a random draw, people, before we write in and say that we're setting John up. It's a random draw. We have 10 or 12 different shots, the bowlers to choose from. And John's going to throw a strike. And this is the shot that he made last week for the $250 gift certificate.
Last box for Shute. $114 along with 7, so he's at a 121, but he's against a 152.
He's bowling well, but unfortunately not well enough. John is really bowling well.
2 remaining with 1 ball to go. Then he had a 125 in the first game, and a 9, and a 123, and a 2-string count as we check it out 248. So there it is, a 287 for Czernicki, the champ, and a 248 for Shute. After a couple, we'll be back with the final string and a problem shot presented John Czernicki. But first, let's pause for these commercials.
Down with one ball, just like he did last week.
This is for $250. And he does just that. Czernicki getting the problem shot. Let's peek at it again.
There's a carbon copy of last week, too. 1-3 pocket. Almost looks like we used the tape from last week.
Czernicki's on fire. Here's Denny Shute to start up the third and final string of this match. Denny trailing by 39 pins. So far, he has recorded 3 strikes, half dozen spares. Denny has had strings of 125 and 123 for 248. And the champ, Czernicki, with strings of 135 and 152 for 287. And John has yet to strike, but he's recorded a dozen spares, and he's had some excellent fills.
Yeah, he's been bowling real well. Got the strike when he really needed it. $250 gift certificate, but I'm sure he liked a few in the match, too. Denny, on the other hand, has got a mount of some kind of an attack early here. 39 pins down. That's a good 4 more marks than your opponent, so.
Shute had a 9 in the first box. And he gets another 9, so that's an 18 after 2. Big John, the champ, whacking them all down.
There's a strike.
Home run ball recorded by the champ. The pocket rocket did it all. Looking for the double.
This way, he's going to get it.
Yes, it is. Got the double. Now, if he gets another strike next time up, he'll win himself a trip for 2 to Atlantic City. Compliments of fresh pond travel of Natick, Mass.
He wants to know if he can use the strike he had for the problem shot.
No. Absolutely not. Here is Denny Shute. Denny in a heap of trouble right now.
Yeah, he certainly is. He carries an average of 123, and it's just about what he's averaging right now. But unfortunately, John is just on fire.
John now with a couple of strikes, along with a dozen spares. And a 7 box. 25 after 3 for Shute. You can see he had strings of 125 and 123.
Oh boy, he's not carrying that extra pin either for that legitimate spare lead. He's got the 5, 7, and the 8. Looks like he's got to go right at the 5 pin. I hope he can jump the 5 into the 8 and carry the 7 as well.
Nope. Denny Shute from Amesbury, Mass, with an average of a 123, best high single of 182, best triple of 448. And a 9. 34 after 4.
Looking for the trip for...
Here we go. Oh. No, it didn't happen. He couldn't explode the strike. Had he got it, he would have won himself a trip for 2 to Atlantic City. Compliments of Fresh Pond Travel of Natick, Mass. A spare.
He's on his way to possibly breaking his own high triple as well as the high single.
He was halfway down the Mass Pike on that one.
He sure was.
Headed for Atlantic City.
Oh, good-looking ball there, too.
Now with the wood there, anything can happen.
Well, he's going to have a shot. It's definitely. He's got a good angle on the wood. He's going to play the red line. The ball will carry him off that. Should carry the 10, and the wood carry the other 2.
Got it. Oh, nice shot. Right on the butt. Let's check it out again.
He even had a little more room because he did come up even higher than the red line here, but the ball still carried the 10 on the way through. Nice shot.
4 marks in a row now. And the 3rd string for the champ, John Czernicki. Denny Shute trying to climb back. He's trailing by a whole bunch.
Not to mention next week's challenger will be Jerry Menard. 9-year veteran of the WCBC Tour. Also mentioned sitting in for me next week will be the Vice President of WCBC, Don Riley.
You'll be on vacation, warming up for the following week when you'll be back as the challenger.
Right. 2, 4, 7, 6, and 10.
Simple as that. Big 5 lead with some wood. The 8-year pro going after. Denny's struggling, to say the least, here in the final string. He's had 4 9s and a 7.
Struggling, but on the head pin pretty well. Just is not carrying the extra couple pins that give him a real good spare shot. And when you have a fellow opens up, you're 39 down, and the guy opens up with spares, strike, strike, spare, spare. They don't fall any easier.
There's the strike by Czernicki.
Incredible.
Czernicki now with 3 strikes.
Incredible. He's just crunching those
Look
pins.
at the scoreboard. Whole bunch of marks. Going for the double.
Well, bounced the ball a little bit. Left the. Let's see, get 2-5. And if he can get by that piece of wood next to the 2. Nice
There
shot.
on the strike. Right on the money.
Very delicate shot there, and he is able to get by.
We're going to take a break here in the final string after a half dozen. We go to the scoreboard and a whole bunch of marks compiled by the 2-time champ, John Czernicki. He's en route to his 3rd win in a row. Don't leave us now because John will probably be the guy that gets the shot at the automobile. We'll be back right after we roll away. Denny Shute trailing by 102 pins in the match, 63 in this string. Well, it's been a long one for Denny.
Right. He's had 2 respectable games, 125, 123. But John is just too much today.
Had Denny won this show, we would have changed the name to Big Shoot Bowling next week. But no go, I guess. And by the way, that was not my line. I'll have to give credit to Jim Murphy, our director for this show, who gave me that. And by the way, Jim is not related to Dan Murphy. They're only related in their love for the game of candlepin bowling. That's all. A drop of 5. And by the way, that wasn't my ad lib either, Dan. I don't have any original stuff.
That's the way Denny's day has been going.
His pocket was picked that time.
Yeah, it's too bad. He's bowled better than the score indicates. There's a good example of it. Looked like he hit the shot and just was not able to carry that 8-pin.
10-pin. 72 with 2 remaining for Denny here in the final string. You can see his strings down on the bottom part of the screen of 125 and 123. Oh, no. That's the way they build them, one at a time. A 1 on the spear. I'll have to talk to John about that in the winner's circle. Oh, he almost climbs out of it with a spare.
One small mistake, and that's the shot everyone's going to ask him about. They're not going to ask him how much over 400 he went, or they'll ask him what happened when you punched out the 2 on the spare.
We'll hang on the negative, huh? A 10 count. So far, John with 3 strikes and 15 spares. And I believe that's the record for the most spares. Yes, it is. Going through our record book for a show.
Looks like he's in jeopardy of breaking his own high single and the show's high single, I mean, and the high 3.
Oh, with a lead like that, he's going to have to get it into high gear.
Needs another mark. 2, 4, 6, and 10. Trying to split the 2 and the 4.
At this time, we'd like to thank the executive producer of Big Shot Bowling, John E. Legums. And also a tip of the fedora to our director, Jim Murphy, and his entire staff for a superlative job. 135 up on the scoreboard. There it is, to a 135 to a 72. Might we say this match is academic, Dan?
Yes, I think we can. John's looking forward to next week with Jerry Menard, I'm sure. But standing in his way, a set of keys to a new 1985 Thunderbird.
Well, Dan, next week you take a vacation, then you'll be on the show the following week as a bowler, and Lord knows when you'll be back.
Could be the following week.
Well, best of luck anyway.
Thank you, Bob.
A 9-box. Denny's going to need a mark or 2 to climb out of the low score and get up into the 100 bracket. It's going to be mighty tough. However, he can come up with a spare.
That's how his day's going. He's been on the head pin pretty well and not getting any spare leaves. That time he misses the head pin. He leaves one pin being the head pin for the spare. It's not Denny's day, that's all. And of course, John's is out of sight here.
That told the story right there.
Yeah.
Denny will end up with 3 strikes and a half dozen spares and $100. Both bowlers will be receiving trophies from George Girton Trophy Center, located at 138 Southbridge Street in Worcester, Massachusetts. When thinking of trophies or awards for any occasion, think George Girton Trophy Center. A 91, along with 125 and 123 for a 3-string count of a 339 for Denny Shute.
There it is.
Nice spare.
He's already broken
16 spares now.
Yeah, he's already broken a high 3 for the show, and there's a spare shot. This one he just made, splitting the 1-2, and the head pin comes off the wall, clear the other 2. And I believe he's beat his high single now, or the show's high single.
Yeah, he needs 1 pin to tie it.
And he just broke it.
He did. He got some backdoor action with the ball coming out, which is in play. However, we'll have to get the ball out of the gutter. So a 161. What's his 3-string count going to be, Dan?
Well, it looks right now, a quick addition here. $449 or possibly $450.
Ain't too shabby. He gets it for the 10 bucks.
$449.
Oh my, what bowling by John Czernicki, a 162, which is a record. And the 400 game, the 449, is also a record. The scoreboard tells it all. Czernicki with 3 strikes, 16 spares, and he'll have the shot at the Thunderbird. He also has in his pocket $200 plus a gift certificate valued at $250. We'll be back with the wrap on this show right after we pause. To be John Czernicki jumping into the winner's circle, and Denny Shute, you didn't have much of a chance against this guy who shattered 3 records. He had the high single, the high triple, and the most marks.
He was hot. There's nothing I could do.
Well, nice having you with us. We have $100, and also Dan has a trophy.
Thank you. Congratulations, Denny.
Let's hear it for Denny Shute, our runner-up here. And now let's bring up John Czernicki as he is going after the automobile, the 7-10 pins. John, good luck. If he gets it, he'll win the Thunderbird you see right there. Compliments of Dudley Ford, Route 9 in Westboro. He's done just about everything, Dan. Let's... Oh, wow! What a try. John, quickly jump in here. Let's hear it for John Czernicki. Woo! You almost got it, baby. Wow.
Boy, that would have been nice.
3 records. High single 162, high 3 448, and 19 marks.
Well, good. I didn't have a bad shot. You know, I bowled super.
And $200 and a trophy from Dan.
Well, John, what else can you do? And I thought you had that car. You know, it's a great shot, your credit, and I hope you cool off in a couple weeks when I come on.
We'll see you, John. Congratulations, Bob Fouracre, for Dan Murphy and the entire team here on Big Shot Bowling, thanking you for being with us and inviting you back next week for more exciting action. See you then.